Man, these people took my kids from me, then they closed my bank account. I got so much anger in me, got no way to take it out. Think I'm stuck in the matrix. Where the fuck's my nitrate? Yes, I am a cook, I like. I'm posting on Twitter, they telling me, hey, don't say that. Now niggas can't see me in public, I'm driving the all-chrome Maybach. With all of the money and fame, I still can't get my kids back. With all of the money and fame, I still don't get to see my children. Niggas see my Twitter, but they don't see how I be feeling. So I became a Nazi.
Whoa, okay. It's dude, right there. I'm getting good at the pause game. I'm getting better at the pause game, dude. He can't see his kids, man. Don't you feel sorry for Kanye? He can't see his kids, bro. They don't understand what he's saying on Twitter, dude. They don't get it. They don't get what he's saying on Twitter. It's kind of sad when you think about it, chat. It's kind of sad when you think about it, you know? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a hopefully quick stream today. I would like to go spend some time outside because it's going to rain all day, all weekend. So I want to get this done fast. This is the only topic we're going to talk about today, and it will remain up on the YouTube channel. I'll just keep this thumbnail as it is. I don't really care. We're going to try and make this quick. I'm going to try, okay? I'm going to try. Anytime we do Birdie streams, they take forever. I'm going to try, okay? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's get into it. I want to get through this, okay? I want to get through this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. I see the ex of Birdie Go Cato in my chat right now. Thank you, Adam AJ, for getting us started with a membership, dude. Memberships are important to the channel. You guys are awesome. All the generous donations you guys did. You guys are great. You guys are great. If we get through the Birdie segment pretty quickly, I will unironically do the jar abortion video. I'll do the jar abortion video, okay? I'll do it. I'll do it. I will watch Jar's abortion video if we get through the Birdie stuff, okay? Okay? I will do it. I will. I'm not going to like it, but I will. We need to talk about this, though, okay? Because this has been... Thank you for the 10 gifted members, QTV. You're the GOAT per usual, brother. Listen, we need to talk about Queen, okay? Queen is an individual that housed Birdie, was in that gay op call with Birdie that I covered on the channel. What else? Where else? What else have they been doing? They are the person that Birdie left the ashes of the ferret at their home. Free the ferret has finally been freed. We have won the war, chat. We have won the war. The hashtag free the ferret movement worked. Birdie left their ashes at their house. So the ferret is finally free. Now, I need to preface, I don't like Queen. I don't like anything that Queen does. I don't like this fucking bullshit that they keep doing where it's constantly whining and complaining on Twitter all day long about Birdie instead of just making the damn video, right? Instead of just making the video or putting out a statement, it took them like a year to do any of this crap, okay? I don't like this person. I don't like any of the people that were in Birdie's orbit. I don't like any of the people that were in that call, even though they don't sign off on it now. I don't like these people, okay? I don't like these people. Queen finally made the document. It was supposed to be a video, but they failed to do that, so they made a document instead, and I'm going to hate myself. I'm going to hate myself reading this. So, if you want to torture me through this, because you guys all voted yes on the community tab, make sure you guys donate, subscribe if you're new, like the stream at the minimum. You don't even need to send me money. Just help me get through this, okay? This is apparently the script for their video. Bruh. It's not going to be a good script, I'm calling it. Okay, I finally finished this. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry that it's in doc form instead of a video. I'll answer questions to the best of my ability. With the doc out there, I'll go on a long hiatus, or probably won't be back to this account for fun. I'll only come back just to answer questions, or if I'm mentioned in some sort of way. Yeah, tell me. Listen, I'm mentioning you. You fucking suck. Although I probably won't respond to any situations that don't mention me. Let me know if there's any problems with the doc. I'll try and fix them. I will gladly, autistically, go over your Google document to see if there's any problems here. I'm not ready. I'm not ready, chat. Okay. Black is queen. Purple is aura. Okay. Important. Please do not send harassment to anyone mentioned in this document. This document is just half my opinion. What?
Good luck. This thing is so wordy and just goes on.
What?
It'll be a great spiral.
What? Have me stating about what's been going on. Hopefully we can all be respectful and kind to each other. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be respectful or nice to anybody in this fucking situation. Not a single fucking person. Am I going to be nice or respectful to? It's just not going to happen. It's 57 pages. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Thank you for the direct dono car.
The most said phrase Chris will say reading it will be who cares.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it.
New
Nip for
donation
Chef.
from Carl.
Thank you, Car. I appreciate the $5. Donation for Chef, of course. I will make sure Chef gets a treat later. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Disclaimer. Extremely sensitive topics will be mentioned here, like suicide, grooming, disturbing behaviors, and more, that I cannot find the words to describe. How do you not have the words to describe it at this point? Continue reading at your own risk, and please care for yourselves. Introduction. Hi, I'm Queen, also known as Izzy by both Jack and Cinny, or Dorothy by some others. Can't you just stick to a regular one fucking name, you schizo? I go by many names, and a lot of my friends have different nicknames for me. Oh my god. But Queen will be a good one to call me online. To keep things short and simple, this doc will answer questions from this tweet. Okay. Yeah, just go here. I want to see what we're doing here. Some questions for my video about Jack. Totally not me blanking out on what to talk about. There's just so much that I want to make sure I get all of it in the video as I can. Hopefully these questions I can answer easily, and I'll let you know if I can't. Oh, I wanted to say this. Let me know if you don't want your handle out there on the internet. They're tweeting at you, you idiot. All their handles are right here. I hate this person. They're fucking stupid. I already hate this person. Ah!
I'd take a drink every time Chris says who cares, but I'm at work.
Yeah, Moose, that's not a good idea. I didn't know where to start, and there's just so much. Why not? How about you start about your involvement in this whole thing? Like, you know, that's how it usually starts in a document, is being like, hey, this is where I have come into the picture, and this is the information that I know and the information I'm willing to share. That is a normal sequence of events to explain a situation involving Birdie. But okay, apparently you don't know where to start. Like, great start to this document. Let's see here. Where are we? And there's just so much. So I just decided to let people ask me questions. Hopefully this will help. Although with how many questions there are, I might accidentally answer the same question twice, or might give more context to similar questions that asked later down the list that just worded it differently. Why? Why would you put this in? Why would you even remotely do that? Just answer the questions. If there are duplicate questions, you don't have to individually answer the duplicate questions. That is stupid. That is a waste of your time, the time of the document reader, and for everybody that is going to cover this. Why would you do that? Let's see here. So see how it goes. Some of the info was written around December and has been updated slowly but surely till around May 4th, which is when I'm still updating some stuff. But some things might have an oversight with unupdated stuff. This is terrible. Why would you release this? Hopefully, I'm able to update it all, but we'll see. Before I go on, I want to add an apology. Oh, an apology. Are you going to apologize for the gay op call? Are you going to apologize for threatening to sue people? For threatening to take down that call? Are you going to apologize for that? Or are we going to apologize for something stupid no one cares about? I'm sorry how long this took. Yep, we're apologizing for somebody nobody gives a shit about. And I was in over my head. I'm a very dumb individual. This is so good. This document's great. With no hindsight and no experience to draw on or go through this whole cesspit of a situation with Jack and City 2 way earlier. I made very dumb and stupid choices. Looking back, I would have done so much differently. I would have done my best to make sure I learn and grow from this situation. Okay, dude. And I'm not to make the same mistakes I did over this time. Maybe just get off the internet. In a way, I'm grateful for those dumb mistakes as I was able to grow and learn. Thank you for those who helped criticize me. Your guys' criticism is invaluable. Yeah, I called you a bunch of snaking retards. Very valuable criticism. Incredibly so, actually. I would also like to apologize for my contribution to any misinformation and my poor handling of my now deleted Twitter account. I took these betrayals personally, and I believe while I was reasonably mad, I should have not made a public account until long after. Okay. I did not check my information. I listened to rumors. I went into full mental crisis. Oh my God! I did not handle any of it very well. Everyone's a mentally ill person. Everyone's mentally ill. Nobody knows how to handle anything. Everybody's just constantly fucking schizophrenic. Amazing. Just wonderful. I have deleted that account entirely. If there's any screenshots going around, please assume that I'm no longer stand by what I said.
Still have the stolen cat.
I'm pretty sure the cat's been given back at this point to Cinny. I went offline somewhere in December and have done what I can to correct myself. I will not be coming back to this. I will not be making commentary on any other kinds of drama. Yeah.
They deserve to be locked up with Pedo Bear.
Yeah, but this isn't Cinny. This is somebody that helped. This isn't Birdie. This is somebody that helped Birdie and then recognized that Birdie's a crazy person. Let's see here. And now I will not involve myself with anyone like this if I can help it. Just stay off the internet. It's pretty easy. If you think Jack is watching this video and or listening, what do you have to say to him? Any personal messages? One, if you think Jack is reading this doc, what would you have to say to him? Stay off the internet. Get a psych ward. Electroshock therapy helps. Cyanide's also a really great tool. You know, just really kind of remove yourself from the online sphere because you're nothing more than a deranged person that is trying to drag innocent children down with you. How about that? That's what I would say to Birdie. Any personal messages? Die. That's a good starting question. Jack, I know there's a high chance of you reading, or at least someone reading it for you. So I'll say this. Why? Why are you doing all of this? Why are you even asking this question? You know why. They're fucking mentally insane. You should have learned your lesson the first time when your consequences bit you, instead of just keep doubling down, keep lying, manipulating, playing victim, and more. Jack, you can't blame anyone or anything. Not your BPD, not your autism, not anyone around you, nothing. It's just you and you alone, Jack. Okay. That's a solid response. I will grade that a 5. You know, I'm kind of like, man, you should have came to that conclusion before you let them into your house. But it's a solid 5. Okay, solid 5. B, as a grown adult, there's so much you could have done to mitigate or even prevent your abusive behavior. Even before you had the money, you could have recognized your own tendencies to manipulate people and avoid doing so. You've taken time to pull back and simply go quiet during spits to avoid hurting us before slowly stopping doing that because you wanted to push those feelings onto us. Make sure we knew we were not enough for you and never would be good enough. This sounds like a breakup message. This sounds like they were dating Birdie. Why does everyone sound like they're dating Birdie when they're talking about them? With the 10K, you could have done a lot more with professional help. You think Birdie's going to spend that money on professional help? No, they're going to buy DoorDash and fucking ponies and shit. You instead immediately turn to everyone, calling everyone Birdie drama writers. Because you can't possibly be wrong. If you or anyone that's reading for him, you can keep reading. I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of Jack. Please, let's be civil and reasonable here. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay. Is this video only going to be covering recent things he's ever done? I remember there being a mention of a video of you confronting him. Is that true? And if it is, still, will that be mentioned and or even shown in the video? This doc will be the only, will this doc only be covering recent things he's done?
Can I have 10K? Chris is a Nazi. I think him in danger.
You're not going to get $10,000 from me. If anything, I will scam you out of $10,000 because it would be funny. Basically, I'll probably comment on some of the things he did in the past, but I don't have enough knowledge to really have a deep discussion about it, nor do I have a desire to talk about or deep dive into the horrors that Jack has done. What? The whole point of this video and this document was you were going to take it upon yourself to, like, cover the drama all the way up from what you understood Birdie to do during the Cinny Bear stuff up to now. And now you're saying that you don't want to get into the minutia of Birdie, even though you wanted to take the undertaking of Birdie. Thank you for the 5 gifted members, by the way, Ad. Thank you, Ad. Let's see here. Where are we? I remember there being a mention of a video of you confronting him. Is that true? Okay. I audio recorded both times I've confronted him IRL. The first time was me driving him to a doctor's appointment on December 3rd. And we really just talked about what happened with Jane Doe and what he did wrong and just cleared up some things. Unfortunately, that audio recording isn't the clearest. You should still release it. Somebody with better audio mixing can fix it. Here to support the cabal. There is no cabal. But thank you for your money. What is that emo context? Autism. And that's also a brony that wants to have sex with ponies. Let's see here. Where are we? I confronted him, although the second time I confronted him was legit right before he got kicked out on December 7th night, as has a much clearer audio recording. I'll be monitoring the second one a lot, mentioning the second one a lot, and I'll have clips of it here and there to prove my words and whatnot. I'll never post the full audio. Why? Just censor the sensitive information. Why won't you What the fuck? What? Just censor out the sensitive information. That's interesting. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. No full context call for you. You can't do that. No full context. I won't release it. But definitely some clips here and there in this doc if the links work. Could you give a brief timeline of what happened since the Cinny drama with introductions? I'm a bit lost on who's who. Oh, God. That's extremely fair for not knowing who's who. There's so much that happened, even I'm a little confused. Wait, how are you confused? You were directly involved in the situation. You were there when the cat was taken. You were there when Birdie, left the house. You helped rehome Birdie. You were in the calls. What are you talking about? How do you not know who's who? Are you joking? This little timeline I'm going to give is going to leave a lot of details out, as this is just me highlighting what I think is important in this doc. You're doing a terrible job of being forthcoming about all this. Hopefully this one will make sense. Intermission. I'll be mainly talking about what happened with us and Jack. Those interactions from what Cindy did to us is increased bad blood between us and my pettiness against Cindy, which was part of the reason why I kept Squirp for so long. So you did hold that cat hostage due to pettiness. It wasn't out of fear that Cindy wasn't going to take care of the cat. It was out of pettiness. Oh my God. Okay. There are other reasons as well, like how I was keeping Squirt from Jack before finding out the horrible things that he did. But to keep it short and sweet and go on. Anyways, continuing. All right. Starting with the introductions again. Why?
Chris need the 10K for his lawsuits against his groomer Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Why are you telling me that you're queen again? You already said that. I'm the one who helped Jack since the start of this whole situation. Cindy called me on September 14th telling me that she groomed a 14-year-old. After finding out Cindy groomed a 14-year-old, I texted Jack to check up on him. Then the next day, which was Sunday on September 15th, we hung out. Although I do want to say that I've known Jack ever since he moved here, as I was the one that drove with Cindy to go pick him up. But that story's for another day. Why is that a story for another day? You just said that you're not going to engage with the Birdie drama anymore. Just lay it all out there at this point. I just haven't fully gotten to know who Jack was as his own person till September of 2024. I only knew bits about him from Cindy, talking about him at work. I've known Cindy since I started working with her around September of 2023. After the hangout, I suggested that Jack could stay with me for a bit since I knew that Jack wanted to leave. That was your first mistake. That was your first mistake. You barely knew this person, and you're gonna let them live in your fucking house? Okay. Let's see here. I also knew and hoped that Aura would be glad to help as backup because my mom doesn't like people staying over for long periods of time. So why are you... Why are you letting them stay in the house then? Why are you letting them stay in the house if you know your mom's not going to be okay with it? Are you stupid? Anyway, later that day, I went to go help Jack grab his stuff, still September 15th, and when we grabbed Latte, a.k.a. Squirp, although little PSA, we didn't grab everything, so there were multiple runs during this whole situation. That's why Cindy thought that people were breaking into their house to hurt them. Aura has been my friend since middle school. He's also ex-friends and ex-coworkers with Cindy. That's how he met her through work. Aura felt the need to quit because of her. He was scared that she would do something like harassment. Cindy Bear's going to do harassment? Okay. I can maybe see that because they're a part of the gay op call. I can maybe see that. I just didn't want to deal with that. Honestly, she started to sound like a school shooter. She claimed I was the source of her every problem. At the same time, she had a gun. She had to buy a gun. Gun reference. Romantic goblin. Romantic. Gun notification. Gun moment. Gun mention. Romantic goblin. No thanks. Before Cindy got better, she dragged Aura's name in the mud. Cindy was fed lies that Aura dragged her, when in reality, he never did. And Cindy now knows it's not. Although she technically went, always known. She was manipulated by Kumo. Oh, we're throwing Kumo under the bus. And wanted to go along with whatever made her look better. That's why we should all hate Kumo. I'm slightly joking with that sentence. I weirdly don't believe it.
Friendly fire will not be tolerated.
What the fuck is this sentence, though? This makes me take it so unseriously. That's why we should all hate Kumo. That's crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy. This is making me take this document way less seriously. Oh my God. Continuing on, Jack stayed with Aura for about 2 months after Jack slept over at my house for a night or two in the basement, which was connected by stairs. Jack stayed in Aura's guest house bedroom. which was on the second floor with lots of stairs connecting them. The reason for the emphasis on stairs will come back later. Jack stayed with Ara from September to October of 2024. During this time, near the beginning of this situation, around late September, Jane Doe had an extreme argument with her mom, which led to her move out from her mom. Jane Doe is another friend of mine. I've known her for about 2 years. Jane Doe has helped Jack with a lot since the very start. For about 3 months, September, October, and November, she tried her best to get an apartment for both of them. Oh my God. Birdie was going to try and fucking leech off of another person and stay in their apartment. Kill me. Oh!
This does not feel like the worst of the worst when it comes to a Birdie Manifesto.
No, this is just the worst Birdie Manifesto I've ever read so far. But we're getting more information about what happened behind the scenes between Cindy Bear and Birdie. So fuck it. I'll milk it. Let's see here. During the 3-month period, and when she wasn't applying, Jane Doe was trying to save money. Jane Doe was also staying at Ara's house during this time, roommating with Jack in the guest room. To add insult to injury, Jack made her sleep on the floor while he had the bed to himself. I couldn't get an air mattress, but I kind of wish she told me and used my room. Wait a minute, you can't get an air mattress? You go to Walmart. How much is an air mattress on Amazon? Like a shitty air mattress costs $35. $23. There is an air mattress at Walmart for $14.88. $14.88. That is crazy. You can't find an air mattress for cheap?
Remember, Birdie bleed all over the
I
sheets.
know, I remember. It's just like really, really fucking funny. But I kind of wish she told me to use my room. At least don't make someone with scoliosis sleep on the floor.
Oh well, more money for you.
You guys couldn't get an air mattress? Like, how hard is it to get an air mattress for somebody with scoliosis? You guys are all idiots. I love it.
What I can't understand is, why talk now, ABT this?
Because they've been teasing this for like a year now. They've been teasing this for a year, and they're finally dropping it.
Chris, when he sees a cowgirl,
Okay,
emoji,
chill.
I'll milk it.
Chill.
Person shrugging emoji.
Chill, bro. Let's see here. Where are we? I'm already missing it. During the October month, Ara's mom was starting to get uncomfortable by Jack because, one, Jack was walking around without his pants on, just in his underwear. His dick was out! Common courtesy is gone from Jack's brain, but luckily, he was still wearing a shirt. Thanksgiving was just next month, and they needed the guest room soon. And 3, another one of my friends was okay with housing Jack.
$14.88 plus tax. Clearly, Birdie got screwed by tariffs.
True. There were multiple times when he should have secured an apartment on his own, but he was staying on the condition that he would be moving out in like a few weeks, like 1 or 2, but kept shooting down apartments. That sounds like Birdie. I spent all my money on core. That's okay. Thank you for your continued membership. I just appreciate that. Let's see. Thank you for the 9 months. That sounds like Birdie. That they would just constantly and unequivocally continue to fuck themselves at every chance that they could to get an apartment. That just makes sense. I genuinely think he would have tried to stay for a year if he wasn't kicked out. Yeah, because he's a jobless fucking neat. He was only supposed to be there until the end of September at the latest. This other friend of mine is Julie. I've known Julie since elementary, and we've been through the thick and thin. Continuing on, Jack moved in with them around mid-October and got kicked out on December 7th. That was fast. For each month Jack stayed with Julie, he paid about $800 for rent. The couple reasons why Julie kicked out Jack was because she found out that Jack has a chance of having CP. Wait, what? I'm sorry, excuse me? She found out that Jack has a chance of having CP. What? You didn't call the police?
Whoa!
What?
Belongs in a padded cell upstate.
Plus, Jack was basically being a piece of shit roommate by complaining how there was no food when there was, or the fact that no one was helping him. Yeah, they never elaborate on that. That's not.
They never elaborate on that BTW.
There's no elaboration here. I'm kind of concerned by that lack of elaboration. That was a very quick escalation that, according to Goat, we are not going to get a deeper elaboration on. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Where are we? What many people did. He complains a lot. Shocking. If one thing didn't go his way, he would complain. After being kicked out, Jack bought a ticket for a plane ride on Sunday, the 8th, to go stay with Mary. By the way, Mary is a fake name. It's just a relative of Jack. Some people know the relationship between those two, but I'm not going to keep it quiet for privacy. But I'm going to keep it quiet for privacy reasons. What? Birdie makes everything. Okay, whatever. Again, there's just so much that happened. I know I missed a lot, but this is the shorthand version of the timeline. What was the most unsettling or annoying thing Jack has ever done or said? There's a lot, but the main one to me is the fact that Jack isn't trying to get better, just wants everyone around him to help him. No shit. Like, if someone doesn't want or can't help him, then he'll go behind their backs and complain. Duh. Oh, well, you can't help someone who doesn't want to stand and instead wants to be carried when they're completely capable of standing on their own.
Keep getting deeper.
But this is a metaphor. Anyways, Jack has $10,000. He can afford a doctor's visit and a therapist, Uber, DoorDash, food, and more. Wait, why would you want Uber and what? Why would you want DoorDash?
The madness never ends.
Why would you put DoorDash in there? They can get their own food. You know, like, I understand DoorDash, they can mail it to them because they don't have a car. But Birdie has taken the bus before. Birdie knows how to use public transit. Oh my God. Even before the 10K weighed in, he had about 1,000 to 2,000 in his bank from commissions. He didn't want to use it and save, which is understandable. No, it's not. No, it's not. They should have just went home. They should have called their family and just went home. You can go to you could go to like a shitty fucking store, man. You go like at a fucking Aldi's or something and pay like $20 for like a good amount of food. Not good amount, but at least enough to last you a week. Like, what the fuck? Let's see here. It's just the fact it was a sign of how stingy Jack can be. Although I want to say it's okay to save money. Save money if and when you can. Thanks for the fucking finance lesson, retard. Just learn when you can or can't use your money, if that makes sense. Anyways, continuing on. So this is Aura speaking. The fact that he would rather spend money on frivolous special interest or / hyperfixations merch, candy, and simple wants, and make those around him foot the bill for his medication, food, application fees, and driving around was infuriating. Why did you do it? Why did you even let it happen? This is my thing. Why even enable it in the first place? Like, yeah, you guys let him into your home. But if he's like, oh, there's no food. Oh, you're not helping me. Oh, I need to be driven. Oh, could you pay for my medical bill? I'd be like, no. You have your own fucking money. Get your money done. And if they don't like it, they can go homeless again, okay? You people are pathetic. Anon. At what point did you realize you should have kicked him out so I could confront him, etc.? Okay.
For context on the CP stuff, an ex of Jack's came to Queen asking if Jack still had old certain photos of them. Jack said no. However, Queen and Ara didn't want to risk it anyways, so yeah.
You know what? I kind of respect Queen and Ara for just kicking them the fuck out when they heard that. I respect it. I respect it. I'll respect the fact that they were like, fuck it, get out of my house. Like, even a hint of that, get out of my house. I gotta respect it. I fuck with it. And what? Okay. Julie was the one who officially kicked Jack out. And I confronted Jack during that process, because it was then or never due to Julie's rightfully so paranoia getting to her. Before, though, in late November, we did have to move Jack to Julie's place due to the fact that he couldn't be at Ara's place anymore because of holidays that were coming up, although Jane Doe would continue to stay at Ara's house for a bit, not in the guest room, until her mom let her back in, which was around late November. You said somewhere that he talked about Cine lots. Can you elaborate on that? Yeah, from around September to November, he would talk about Cine a lot. Like almost every day we hang out. He would either complain about Cine or reminisce about her. In December, late November, he started talking about Cine less. So right there, they were in a relationship. That's talking about your ex right there. He said he was in the psych ward once in a tweet. What was that all about? Psych ward? I'll admit, I don't keep track of Jack's tweets all that well. Why would you even answer this if you don't know? So I don't know what Jack was talking about unless he was talking about when he was younger, because Jack was in a psych ward for some period of his life. I think that would have been a more Jack question instead of a me question, as Jack would be the only one that could properly answer that. Why did you answer this then? Are you a retard? What happened when you kicked him out? When we kicked him out, I confronted him on so many things. I have it recorded. After he got kicked out, he booked a plane ticket next day and went to stay at a family member's house for private reasons. I'm not going to say who, because Jack can answer that if he wants to. But I will say it's not someone he stayed with before, so not his parents, grandparents, etc. So they're staying with like an aunt, uncle, cousin, or something like that. Although I was a bit pissed that he left the room a mess, because he could have booked a hotel and dealt with it himself, which I told him to focus on. But he had to get a plane ticket first. But no, I had to deal with it. At least that situation is done with, over with. Do you think this is going to... Okay, why are you double writing this? Do you think this is going to send Jack into some sort of spiral by making a video about this? Good. I hope Jack spirals for the rest of their fucking life. I hope not. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you hope for that? Why wouldn't you hope for that? Oh, Ace is in this document? Yeah, I heard he rapes retarded kids. Joke, Ace, joke. Total joke. Not real. I hope not. I can't really guess. I just wanted to make this doc just to have my side out there. And to make sure that if Jack says anything, people could use this to tell if he's lying or not. Hopefully Jack will mature up and actually apologize. He won't do that. And not use excuses. I hope he'll realize that he's not that he cannot ever return back to the internet. He's gonna come back. It's gonna be funny. For his own good. Everyone else, in my opinion, it's too late for apologies. But it's still better to apologize properly than not. They're never going to do that. They're never going to apologize. They're going to do they're going to do the Heaton thing where they're going to make themselves out to be a victim. They're going to do that. Speaking of Heaton, they're gone. They're gone now. After my live stream, they've packed up and left. So, you're welcome. It's too late for apologies, but still okay. If he does spiral, that's literally not our problem. Okay, Ava, whatever the fuck this guy's name is, kind of based for this one sentence alone. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. He needs to grow up and realize he is a terrible person who do terrible things, and he won't be coddled or even forgiven. If he can't handle people just restating everything he's done, he didn't mature enough. He'll never mature. I'll just show you. I don't care. Boop. Here you go. Here's a Heaton update from the stream yesterday. Due to the harassment that has recently ramped up and become dangerous for me, I called you a retard piece of human garbage, Heaton. There's no danger here. You're just an idiot that can't take accountability for what you did. I'm going to take a complete social media blackout for a while. I'm safe. I'm supported. And I'm currently in more intensive therapy. I have had people say some truly awful shit to me. And I've told them that they have intent to release very private and personal information about me. Don't release that. That'd be crazy. You can definitely release you self-harming baiting to Lio. I had no problem platforming that. Since it seems there's no regard for my life or my health. Oh, boo fucking who. I have no choice but to leave my lovely Legionnaires for a while until I can heal. I'll continue to be active only on Patreon. Oh, wow. As I don't want people who have been kind enough to send me money to go without content. Thank you so much for understanding, my Legionnaires. I'll be back with a new model and a new re-debut, but I need to be stable and safe before I resume activity. So they're just going to rebrand to a different VTuber.
Take that accountability.
30 years old. Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo! My mental health! Yeah, I don't care, Heaton. I don't care. 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 I don't care.
Who would you rather have on, Birdie or Heaton?
I think I would have Birdie on because I feel like it'd be more interesting. Let's see here. Also, did you guys record when you kicked him out? Yes, but I've sprinkled bit and pieces of it in this doc.
Their SCC fans might have.
I don't care. I don't give a shit. Not my problem. I don't give a fuck.
I know I used to yell at others, but being yelled at made me spiral and break down. Heaton.
Yep, true. Why did Birdie not file a report against City regarding the grooming case? I have a reason for this. Jack is too lazy. The most obvious statement of a lifetime. And we were giving confusing information at the time, but Jack could have easily submitted a report about inappropriate interactions with a minor and followed through with whatever the cops said was needed. Although Jack made one small report, which was a sexual assault claim. Wait, what? Jack filed a sexual assault claim on City? That's a new one. I didn't know that. That's new information to me. Okay. That's a little crazy. Okay. But Jack never followed up on it due to the multitude of reasons, like he couldn't drive himself. You can't call. You can't. Thank you for the 5 gifted members. So Jack put a sexual assault claim into the police and then failed to do follow-ups because they didn't want to take an Uber ride. They also reported City for death threat. It went nowhere because it got signed off as venting. That's funny. Although he didn't really bug me or Aura to drive him to the station to continue with the sexual harassment report, so it went nowhere. So just lazy. This is all said out loud, so I have no screenshots or anything, sadly, but the fact that the report is going nowhere shows the level of importance it is to Jack. Although Aura has made his own report a few months ago. Wait, what? Aura made it a sexual assault report or a child grooming report? So I'm not going into further details. I just wanted to say something to ease people's fears that we didn't do anything when Aura actually already did. Okay. Stating a case for someone else isn't difficult. Yes, it is. It would be very difficult for Jack to get into contact with Eno
in the report
and put them in contact with the correct authorities. The case he made for himself, I don't know what he's doing. He didn't call during office hours, never went to the station, never did anything that would have helped his own case. I don't know what he was expecting to happen. He did it for publicity because it's not real. He wasn't actually sexually assaulted by Birdie. Can we just say that? Can we just say that? Also, Birdie should not be in contact with Eno. Birdie should not be in contact with any minor whatsoever. I feel like that's something that should never be a thing. Okay, Ace. Ace is now threatening me in DMs. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Ace, don't pick a fight you can't win, buddy. Don't pick a fight you can't win, homie. Don't even try it. Let me see here. I'm worried aside from Jack allowing minors to see their R18 account, there are any recent actions Jack did that resulted from the fallout. I personally do not know how much of that whole situation with Jack allowing minors to see his R18 account, so I'm going to unfortunately leave this blank. Why did you even answer this then? Why did you even answer this? Why did you answer this? Why did you answer this? Why? If you don't know anything, why are you talking about it? Although by fallout, I'm going to guess you be Jack interacting weirdly with minors recently. If you want a good starting point for this, it would be with the 15-year-old who'll be called Little Guy. Basically, Little Guy is a 15-year-old kid and was a big fan of Jack to the point where Jack was this kid's favorite person. Little Guy then drew potential sexual artwork, pretty sexual artwork. It was just sexual artwork of them in Jack's hypersexual Sona. Jack responded positively to that. Personally, reacting to the fans' art positively is fine, but the issue starts to show itself when someone pointed out Little Guy's age and Jack doubled down. Jack, why are you talking with minors? Excuse me, I'm not allowed to comment on fan art. I don't talk in private with this person. You're being weird. Yeah, no, they're not being weird. This is, where are we? This is where things finally clicked into place for a lot of people. Although this was piling up beforehand, it's kind of where the ball started rolling. And this is the starting point for me in my head for this big snowball to start rolling, if that makes sense. What is it like living with them? Personally, Jack only stayed at my house for a few days at first before going to Ara's house. He only came back to my house to sleep for a night or so, only if 1, for funsies like sleepovers, 2, to see Squirp, 3, he needs to be out of the person's house for a night or something due to events. I would need to ask Ara and Julie for more info on that. Although, in my house, Jack wouldn't leave the bedroom, and that's because 1, he had no need, 2, it had a lot more it's a lot more complicated than I could type. But the short answer is my mom. Yeah, I'm assuming your mom wasn't happy that you let in some sort of schizophrenic bitch into your house. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason. And your mom wasn't happy about that. Maybe that's it. Huh? Maybe that's why your mom wasn't too happy and Birdie couldn't leave their room. Because you just dropped this person, this schizophrenic, into the house of your mother. Let's see here. Would Jack ever help around the house or just stay in the guest room all day? From what I can recall, though, in Ara's house, Jack wouldn't help around the house. Shocking. He would stay holed up in his room he was staying in, wouldn't hang out with us unless we invited him, kept the overhead lights on constantly, and more. With Julie, Jack did pay the rent, but we made sure he did and had the money to do so. But that's as far as Jack helped Julie, which is the bare minimum. But otherwise, Jack didn't help clean up after himself, hold up in his room. Yeah, basically the same patterns with Julie. But I do luckily have responses for both questions for Ara and Jane and Julie. Here they are. Living with Jack was definitely not fun. He never left the guest room. He even went when Jane and I were hanging out. It had to be in the guest room. Wait, what? So even though if you guys are hanging out independently, Jack forced you to hang out with them in the guest room? Just don't hang out with them then. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, this is stupid. Why would you do this? He barely interacted with my family. To note, I still live at home with my parents and siblings. I definitely do not have my own house. And even when my parents would invite him downstairs to have dinner with us, he'd come downstairs, load up more than one serving, and disappear off into the guest room again. I can just picture Birdie being like Gollum, you know, in like Lord of the Rings. They come downstairs and they're like, food. And the family's like, Gollum, don't you want to like have human interaction? They just grab like a fuck ton of food off the table. They just go like this. They just do like an excavator and pull it all to themselves and throw it in a plate. And then they run off and they scamper upstairs like an animal. Like, that's how I picture Birdie. and would disappear off into the guest room where I'd have to take his dishes from him. That's crazy, dude. We would invite Jack out, but it wasn't easy because when going places, he couldn't walk around much, which we will get into later. Most of his time outside the house was just coming along for car rides, but I couldn't really leave him alone in the house without me and or Jane Doe. That's just how I do with friends. What? I try not to leave them alone for too long if they're at my place. If it was restaurants, he would do the same kind of thing. If someone else is paying, he'd order as much as he can. I don't feel sympathy for you people. Is it crazy that I don't feel sympathetic for any person in this situation right now? Is that a mean thing? Is that mean of me? Is that mean of me? Wait, what is this? His dick was out. Okay, thank you for clipping that. Thank you for clipping that in MP3 fucking level audio. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Where are we? Okay. There's a specific restaurant we went to that had a little gift store along the back wall, and I said I'd get him something if we wanted to pick something out. He spent $45 of my money. Not counting towards his actual food, because he just kept grabbing things that was right after another car ride of him venting about Cinny. By the time he moved out, which I believe he said was me kicking him out, that guest room was bad. My parents, for good reason, did not like Jack. Your parents are smart. He was rude to them. He was running up the water and electricity bills, and he walked around in his underwear. There were ones who told me he needed to stay somewhere else, and I tried to be nice about it. He was supposed to have an apartment by now, but then Jane Doe didn't make enough money for both of them. She was working, and by now, I didn't like living with him either. The guest room smelled kind of musty. Maybe a little mildewy, because left all of his clothes on the floor. His reason, I have POTS. I love this. This document is so bad, but it's so funny. It's so bad, but it's so funny. So that means he has to leave literally all of his clothes clean and dirty on the floor? No, that's not what that means. And he would take 10-minute bird baths instead of real showers. That's so funny. It's so funny. I have no idea if he was actually clean or not. Definitely not. He didn't really dry off after showers, so the bed didn't smell good either. Oh, that's disgusting. Jane Doe deep cleaned the room after he had left, and again, before she moved out a few months later. Trust me when I say my room has never smelled like that. It's never smelled like that again after Jack left. Jane Doe. I was Jack roommates for a while, and while I was living with Ara. I was working 2 jobs to support me and him. I slept on the floor while he had the whole bed to himself. He used to say he had bad back problems, although I have scoliosis. And me wanting the best for him. Why? Why would you do that? I let him have the whole... Why would you do that? I let him have whole bed while he slept on the floor, flat and futon, and a seal plushie for a pillow. I asked for a pillow one time, and he said that he didn't have any. There was 4 on that bed. Oh, God. He never wore headphones, and I kept overhead light on the whole time until he went to bed, which is at 4 or 5 a.m. At the time, I just ignored my own needs because he vented so much, and I felt bad for him and let him do it. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot for that. Oh, I'm glad that you acknowledge that you're an idiot. One time, after work, a night shift, had to go to bed early for 6 a.m. shift, barely got any sleep that night. Even after taking melatonin, and almost burst out crying from how overstimulated and exhausted I was from the loud noises and the light. I used to do everything for him while staying with him. I used to do his laundry, cook for him, buy him food and hygiene products. You're fucking dumb. You're a big dumb guy, you know that? Like, you're big stupid. Like, you're very stupid. You're a stupid person. Let's see here. Sometimes I even had to wake him up so he can go to his appointments. Meanwhile, I had to walk on eggshells so he wouldn't get uncomfortable, and I didn't want to intrude on Aura's space because I didn't want to burden him with it. You guys are idiots. So I put up with Jack's shit. I cared about Jack so much that at the time, for Jack's ruined birthday, I even made a tres leche cake by hand for 3 days. You are a fucking idiot. For Jack's when Aura was picking me up from work, I had some food I bought for Aura and Jack in a bag. I handed the bag to Jack, who was sitting in the back for some room, plus so that he would eat his own food. Aura was driving instead of eating just his food. Jack ate a bite of Aura's, which I had to repeatedly remind him that was Aura's. After the third time, he stopped after Queen had to show him which was his food. This guy's a fucking idiot. On Halloween, I pushed his wheelchair up steep driveways. Why does he need a wheelchair? His legs work. Their legs work, dude. What are you talking about? I forgot that they had the wheelchair. Oh, God. This is great. So you pushed them around in a wheelchair on Halloween. That's... Oh my God. Having severe stomach pains, and he didn't even ask if I was alright. And when I go to lay down and Queen and Aura took over, Jack is a very inconsiderate person and very manipulative. If you ever interact with him, don't. He's a bad person, will drag your name through the mud, even if you've done nothing wrong. Be safe and have a good day. Now we have Julie. Jack left all of his dishes in the sink. Jack left all of his hair all over the bathroom walls. Jack left the light on 24/7 in his room. Jack used to come out of the room and he was staying in, but stopped. Jack also stopped saying hi every night and would only come out to eat. Even then, he rarely did that when I was around because I stopped making him meals and plates of food. I always cleaned and took out the trash. But he told me to be quiet at 9 a.m. one time because I was cleaning and cooking, which I can't really help because my sleep schedule is based on my work schedule. Guy was there to witness that too. Jack mostly ate sweets, candy, and like meal prepared burritos that I put together. He usually didn't touch anything that was just ingredients like ground beef, cheese, lettuce, tomato, etc. Unless I specifically made him a burrito, salad, etc. Jack would never make his own food. Why would you do any of this? What was the point of you guys? What was the breaking point for you guys personally? My mental point is basically the same as Aura's. Jack's lying and manipulated about being on manipulation being on full view when he tried to throw Jane Doe under the bus. Even then, he's been building up before the whole blow up. Anyway, this whole situation is kind of long. But the short point being, Jane Doe tried her best to and committed to helping Jack find an apartment for 3 months. That is your first mistake. 3, Jane Doe had to stop because Jack was wearing her down so much with threats of suicide. Let them kill themselves. Who cares? Jack's constant splits and Jack saying we're not helping them and more. All those just started wearing her down so much that she actually did break, but she still tried her best to help Jack till something happened. Suddenly, yes, it was really suddenly Jack. Jane Doe's mom contacted her saying that she could come back to live with them rent-free. Jane Doe took that as her opportunity, and Jack had been holding that above her head, even though Jack himself said that he understands why she did it. But she should have said why anyways instead of ghosting them. Can it, Jack? Even then, you, Jack, have told us that it was okay to ghost people. Jane Doe is in the right, and Jack has been in the wrong. And that was when the beginning of our fallout. Although we noticed some horrible behavior sometimes before, but yeah. Jack saying that he wants Jane Doe to give him closure. I just want to say this. We never gave Jack any empty promises. We told him constantly how busy we were, but that we would still try to help him. I guess somewhere in his head, he thought it was a promise of sorts. The highlighted part is where he said he wanted whatever help. Let's see here. I understand that if Jane Doe told me she didn't want to be friends anymore of something, or that you and Aura would stick around less, I would have let her go. This reads like Heaton, bro. This is the most manipulative shit I've ever seen. I don't even need to read the rest of it. It's just crazy. I'm not excusing my personal behavior with my personality disorder. Yeah, okay, yes you are. I don't even need to read the rest of it. I've already read all these screenshots. Go watch it on another stream. This is Jack admitting that no one is owed closure. Some context. Zebra Kate, Jane Doe's ex-friend, tried to contact them, basically asking for closure, even though it was the ex-friend's fault for being extremely possessive and more. But that's getting more private, so I'm keeping it short and simple. And Jane Doe just wanted to rant about it. Jack then said that in support for Jane Doe, calling the ex-friend manipulative, which was the pot calling the kettle black. Very ironic. This is great. Anyways, this is just the tip of Jack's hypocrisy that he's shown us. And we've even made a list of what to confront him on, which is the list we used when we did confront him. We made this on the spot when we realized that Julie wanted him kicked out. Okay, I don't need to read the list of shit that they were going to ask them. This is stupid. I don't need it. I don't care. What made you guys finally decide to kick him out? Luckily, I already answered this question. Okay, why are you doing this again? Why would you say there's more contradictions to his comeback video than what we've already seen? Okay, so this might be a little extrapolated a little bit deeper on. I missed this question on my first typing, though. But I did answer this question somewhat down the list on question 12. But it's the one where with his grandma that really stood out to me. He has a screenshot with his grandma during which he was making her out to seem like a villain. It really makes me think who else could have been calling a villain when in reality they were just being realistic examples. His ex's friends, some family members, etc. Although, yes, I believe that his parents are pieces of shit. How do you believe that? How do you believe that? Every single clip of their parents being engaged with them on stream and shit is them just being normal fucking parents. Again, do I believe that calling the cops is overdramatic? Yeah. But, like, they didn't do anything wrong. The parents didn't do anything wrong. How do you believe even the parents were shitty to Birdie? How do you believe that? Like, under any circumstance? How do you believe any of that? Hold on. I need to reassure somebody. Nobody cares about what debate rapists have to say. Also, keep in mind, Queen is the one who said the essay Birdie claimed her parents did was in parents making Birdie the actual shower. She wouldn't do them. Yeah, okay, this is fucking crazy. This is Andy Ditch. This is Andy Ditch. This is Andy Ditch, bro, but trans Andy Ditch. Watch it come out later that Birdie has, like, they need to wear diapers and shit. Watch that happen. Watch that happen. Watch that. How much was it exaggerated and how much was not? It was just a question that haunts my mind. I do believe that his parents are horrible people. You're retarded, Queen. I just wonder sometimes, were they just extremely strict people or were they that bad? If they were that bad, why does he even try to continue to talk to them? I asked this question to Jack in the confrontation, and this is what they had to say. Please tell me the fucking link works. You've got to be kidding me. There we go. Play.
Yeah. You told us you can't interact with fan art for like that 15-year-old stuff like that. I know a lot of people draw fan art of you and stuff like that. But as soon as you found out that kid was 15, instead of owning up to it, saying that was my fault, I should not have looked at it, you instead went.
Now keep in mind, all of these are clipped out audio recordings. This is not the full context. So as much as I hate Birdie and as much as I hate Queen, take this shit with a grain of salt, okay? Because we don't have the full context of these calls.
Stop making this weird. I didn't privately DM them.
Right there.
Yeah.
There are a few misunderstandings with that.
Oh God, here we go. The misunderstandings.
And I do still, like, that was a big mistake that I made reacting so defensively, which is why I decided to take a break from social media and why I'm continuing to do that, because I realized I'm not stable enough to run a public account at the place that I'm at mentally right now. And I realized that I was getting defensive at this person, and I still did not check their profile. I thought they were like, I assumed that they were like 16 or 17, because I'm like, yeah, my audience is 16 plus. Like,
But even then, that kind of thing, that's an 18 plus thing. Self-harm, but the thing, that's an 18.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Are you kidding? Bro, your artwork is full of like self-harm shit, Birdie, and you market to 16-year-olds and under. Self-harm OCs should not be for anything in general. It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. But like, if you're gonna do it, make it 18 plus. The fuck are you doing?
Did you just say I didn't know?
yeah. I only found out until I saw like posts about it on Twitter. And then I realized I fucked up because I didn't even check it. I was getting like all defensive over something really stupid, and I did make a mistake, and I should have checked their profile because they were obsessively making fan art of me, and I didn't think, oh, this is weird. I was just like, oh, it's fan art. I have to comment on it.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about how that stuff, how your entire account, some of your really cute art, yeah, definitely should be. But Seth's Deadly Sin characters, which is 100% 18 plus, you admitted it to a Laurel as well. I remember you also admitting it to me as well.
God, Queen just sounds... I hate all these people's voices. Like, holy shit, I hate all their voices. It's just... my God.
Saying that, oh, I should probably make some of these 18. Instead, you drew very extreme, like literally almost sex. Just literally, what's his name again? June, groping.
Another thing, I was the same age as those characters when I drew that stuff.
No, I'm talking about...
What? I was the same age of the characters when I drew that stuff? You still don't do that.
Now, this is like now recently. Like this.
Yeah, you being a grown adult, even as a minor, you shouldn't be drawing self-harm OCs.
This is new Seth. This is new Juno.
My age. Like,
I'm telling you, it's an AI SpongeBob filter. Why? Their voice is already out there in that leak call where they tried to sweep it up. Like, what's the point?
age of the character.
But still, I'm talking about your audience who watches those stuffs, looks at those stuffs. You have very sexual things that belong on an 18 plus page. Your My Little Pony, really cute. Your derpy stuff, you've posted on there, 100% good. That's good for any ages. But your Seth's Deadly Sin characters you posted about, your extremely hypersexual character you've posted about on stuff, bad. No, keep that away from kids at this point, especially with how gray that area. Just make it 18.
You're pretty sure this isn't Queen? I don't know. I've never heard this voice before. It sounds so terrible.
18 plus. If you think it's great, making 18 plus. Basically kind of make that black and white separation. 18 plus, that's fine.
I do actually think that's a good idea. I don't like having minors in my audience in the first place, so I definitely should just mark everything as 18 plus.
You're a fucking idiot. You didn't have that realization earlier? You had to have like a random fucking person tell you that? Are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid? Like, what do I expect from Birdie, if I'm being honest? What do I expect from Birdie?
I'll have to mull that over, though, because that's, like... I'm gonna have to worry about that later, because I can't even think about social media right now. I have to focus on other stuff.
Yeah, but people want change now, too, as well.
There are other things that are priorities right now, like calling the apartment, checking the emails. I don't know what...
There's things that are more on a priority list for me. Calling an apartment, checking emails. That is not difficult. That takes... You know how fast it was for me to renew my license today? 10 minutes. You know what kind of like was annoying? I had to go to a place to get an eye test. And that took me 5 minutes. So in total, I got my license renewed in 15 minutes. All I had to do was check an email. All I had to do was send some basic information online to the DMV. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just pathetic. You heard sirens? Yeah, there's a lot of cops outside today. I don't know what is going on.
I haven't been able to think today, but I have been trying to prioritize other things because I know that if I focused on the internet right now, I would spiral, and I know that I do not need to do that right now.
Then you shouldn't even be on the internet.
In general,
You
forever,
shouldn't.
forever.
At that point,
forever,
just
forever,
don't be on the
forever.
internet anymore.
Yes!
Stop being on the internet.
Yes!
Find a job, get your GED. You have money, 10K to serve you through. Stuff like that. Get your GED or something. It's just because you have disabilities doesn't mean you can't do it. You just don't want to do it.
That's actually so fucking based. That is so based and so true.
The difference. Because there's a lot of people out in the world who have disabilities worse than yours too. I'm not going to say that they're worse. Everyone's worse and stuff like that. It's just that you can do it. You just don't want to. And it's becoming too late. That's the thing. There's sometimes time limits to things when you start doing things and stuff like that. There's just basically time limits where people just break their psyche. You told me that we're breaking your psyche. You're also breaking all of our psyches because you're doing everything where you just sometimes can't come back from it. So this part right here is getting so bad where you just literally can't come back from this. You're basically worse than Cindy. You are becoming worse than Cindy. You realize too late. Stuff like that for too many things. Even then, I don't know how to believe your words because you said that gaslighting is fun to me. You said that you can pretend to do things.
Gaslighting is fun to Birdie. Well, obviously, great assault. We don't know if Birdie actually said that. We don't have an audio recording, but it wouldn't shock me.
And I trust your word. You've lied to us so many times
Let me
that I
stop
can't.
you right there with that one too. I only meant in the context of like, I don't think you understood properly because it's not something that people do like as a joke. But I'll be like, oh yeah, this. Did you know that? Let me think of an example.
They can't even get their point straight. They have to think about it. They were like, no, you're totally wrong. Okay, explain how I'm wrong. And they're just like,
You know that James Corden was in SpongeBob? That's like that's what I was talking about.
What? Can we? Okay.
But
I'm sorry. Why are we bringing up James Corden in SpongeBob? Why are we using that as an analogy?
Let me think of an example. Do you know that James Corden was in SpongeBob? That's like that's what I was talking about. I do not try to intentionally lie to people. And I know that I've lied to you, and I'm still...
How the fuck did that even remotely or tangentially connect to your point here?
processing that. Yesterday I realized that I'm wrong, and I'm starting to process it. But the process is a process.
That's their example of gaslighting. That's so stupid.
And I have to. I'm doing one thing at a time. And again, my brain fog today. I can barely form sentences, but like
my brain fog today.
You were having happily fun on Discord right there and then. Before any of this happened, I was listening to you laughing off over there and just having fun, which I understand it is okay to laugh off and stuff like that. And I understand it's fine to do that kind of stuff.
Discussing with that person the things I've had revelations about.
What are your revelations, Birdie? What introspection have you done, Birdie?
Yeah.
The person that I know is making a Birdie video. This video just set back, this whole document just set back his video by like a month. He's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be so pissed, dude. Speaking of which, I'll just DM him.
Cool. Great. Yeah, but it's becoming too late. You've said all these things to us, and now you're just finally realizing the gravity of your situation. Did someone tell you your actions, how bad it was? Why does it take someone else to tell you how bad your actions are sometimes? Which I understand. I should not be making that as a thing, because sometimes it is. Sometimes someone needs to tell you. But
the thing is that Birdie constantly knows the cycle that they put themselves in, so they should recognize the pattern themselves at this point. But
the thing is that you've gone through these types of situations before. You should have known better. You've had people manipulate you. You got pissed at the same things that we're getting pissed at you for. And yet here you are making some excuses for some things and stuff like that. And you've even admitted right now that you have lied to me. Of course, I'm not going to take you very seriously for those kinds of stuff.
Okay, fair. That was funny. That was funny. Okay. Go off. Where are we in this document now? Here, okay. Okay, sorry, this is okay. What made you guys suddenly turn your back on Jack? What was the situation with applying to a minor, or was it something inside between you guys? I already indirectly responded to this, but to give a direct answer, it was mainly inside situations that he had us turn our backs on Jack. There were many incidents that started piling up, and hopefully I give more clear picture as this video goes on, but sadly, it was due to him responding to a minor as Jack manipulated the story, and we fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And it sucks that we didn't really look into it until Twitter started to point it out to me when I was defending him a while ago, because Jack lied to us about who he was as a person. We expected a clean, well-rounded person who had their life under control. Instead, we found out he was the exact opposite of what he said. He's messy, dirty, manipulative person. Okay. This is what Jack said about the 15-year-old doing fan art of them. Okay. More audio.
Yeah. You told us
There's 167 people watching, but only 116 likes. God damn, dude. We need to outperform Xanderhall today, because Xanderhall content's on its way. We need to double the money that Xanderhall makes, double the likes that Xanderhall makes. I'm already quadruple Xanderhall's viewership right now. Come on, people.
you can't interact with fan art for like that 15-year-old stuff like that. I know a lot of people draw fan art of you and stuff like that. But as soon as you found out that kid was 15, instead of owning up to it, saying that was my fault, I should not have looked at it, you instead went, stop making this weird. I didn't privately DM them.
Right there.
Yeah.
There are a few misunderstandings with that. And I do still, that was a big mistake that I made, reacting so defensively, which is why I decided to take a break from social media and why I'm continuing to do that.
Money.
I would say Xanderhall makes like $40 a stream. We need to quadruple that.
Because I realized I'm not stable enough to run a public account at the place that I'm at mentally right now. And I realized that I was getting defensive at this person, and I still did not check their profile. I thought they were I assumed that they.
Well, the problem is, Birdie, is that you still, when confronted on it, tried to defend yourself from it, so it doesn't, change anything. I don't think... Is this the same audio?
We're 16 or 17, because I'm yeah, my audience is 16 plus.
But even...
Yeah, this is the same audio. What the fuck? Why would you put the same fucking audio in here? Are you retarded? That is the same audio. Okay, whatever. If Jack was lying about important details around some of the situations, drama, etc., what is he in? What were they? How'd you find out in the first place? I wasn't there to witness or experience any of those dramas. But from what I've heard, Jack's been lying about grooming Draggy, lying about the Maryland guy, hiding important info from his audience, hiding his actions, hiding how bad his racist past was. Who gives a shit about the racism? Who cares? Hiding who he was as a person, hiding screenshots of his actions, etc.
Where is your house slave?
I'm not going to bring Leon into this one. He's going to derail it. It's not going to go well, trust me. He's also not my house slave. Let's see here. Where are we? There's so much in his I'm back video that he lies about, over-exaggerates, under-exaggerates, and many more that he does. I can even say that some of the abuse he talked about, like with his grandparents, I could say that he's over-exaggerated, probably even lied about it. I only found this out thanks to everyone online pointing and letting me know a way back when I was defending him. How much does the public actually know or not know? How much does the public actually not know, and is it really that important? I said this up to question 10, but here's a screenshot. Okay, I don't care about the grandma thing. When I first noticed this, I thought it wasn't bad at all. Instead, this is something I would have said. This is when I realized that there's so much that Jack has been spinning the narrative around for his own benefits. May it be for pity points or victim playing. Although this is speculation, I think I have some grounds to doubt Jack's claims that he thinks that his grandparents are evil or whatnot. After all, what hasn't Jack lied about? Okay.
He's not the house slave that's
I would
Chris's
say,
husband.
shut up, Yo-Yo. I would say it's somewhat important because if Jack can lie about his grandparents, his family, and call him evil, who else has he lied about and sent hate mobs to? Lots of people have been traumatized, became victims, and now have to go through a rough healing process because of him. It sucks that now we have these doubts about these people and if they're actually horrible people. But Jack shouldn't really have lied about them and made them out to be evil. Like most of the Birdie drama docs are pretty much up there, are bad. What? So, what? And were addressed in his video, which I can see now are poor, very childish rebuttals. Yeah, it was my fault for not watching Jack's I'm Back video at all. I only watched the first half where he talks about his life and how he moved in with Cindy because I was worried if he was going to mention me. He only mentioned me for a brief second, and I was a bit saddened because I was the one who drove all the way to Washington with Cindy. Sure, we used Cindy's car, but I was the one who drove for about 47 hours out of the 50-hour trip. What the fuck? Why would you do that? And that's not accounting for the rest of the stops we took. That trip took 3 days. And anyways, before I go on for a rant at this part, it isn't important to the conversation, and I can always talk about it later. Sorry about that. I'll move on. Why did you even put that part in there then? Holy shit. Why? Anyways, after seeing that Jack didn't really mention me, other than one small bit, I exited the video and never touched it again until recently. I shouldn't have done that, but even then, I probably would have been too stupid and blind to really notice anything, or maybe I'm discrediting past self too much, but I'll never know. How much are you actually sure that Jack's exes are not lying / spinning the narrative to make the situation into a new wave of Birdie drama? Oh, we have a dumbass Birdie fan. Got it. I don't know fully how much who was doing what, but from what I witnessed and heard, I can believe that the statements about the abuse that Jack has done. We've heard about a lot about who wronged Jack from Jack's point of view. There are some that are questionable, few that are fair to say that they abused him, and a couple that aren't actually abusive to him. But we never get to hear from those who were wronged by Jack. There is something I somewhat, with lots of asterisks, believe in. I rather believe the alleged victims over the alleged groomer, especially if I don't know them fully. Unless there is evidence to prove otherwise. That's why I believe Jack back then with Cindy, especially since she herself confirmed it, and they continued to antagonize us for a while. That's why I'll believe the victims of Jack. It also supports the victims in my mind, and when I witnessed the experience Jack's own horrible self. I think it's justified for the past dramas to resurface due to how it was. 1, handled horribly and correctly. 2, Jack keeps reopening the past by constantly talking about it. And 3, Jack's refusal to let himself heal by not growing and not moving on, if that makes sense. That is true. There is unforgivable things there about Jack that there is unforgivable things out there about Jack that I'm aware of. Yeah, there are unforgivable things out there about Jack, which is why he shouldn't be on the internet ever. No shit. Let's see here. Although I'm sorry, I cannot really see how we could hold Jack accountable for it, considering he was a mentally ill, abused kid. this is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem with all of you fucking art commentary, meme animation community, cartoon review, fucking community members that all need to be fucking strung up in the fucking streets and hanged on the goddamn Capitol steps. Does not matter if they are a mentally abused child, but when they grow up and continue those patterns and harm other people just because they were abused, and you use that as a fucking excuse, you are contributing to the problem, you dumb bastard. There comes a point when, in my opinion, reasons become excuses. Where does the reason become a crutch to use, you know? There's a line where, yes, what environments makes them who they are, but at some point where it becomes, but there's a point where it just becomes who one is, where one needs to start owning up for the things they cause. Jack needs to own up to his past and actually take accountability, something he keeps denying and dodging. And I'm not talking about the stuff where he was already 18. I'm talking about before. Yeah, you're a retard. This person's an absolute fucking idiot. This complete dipshit right here. Well, yes, he's not a kid as of now, but the old accusations from 2020 and 2022 when he was a minor, yet we can protect other kids when they've done similar, if not same mistakes that Jack has done. Nobody's protecting them. If I find out that there is somebody that attempted to sexually assault their ferret and gets into Discord calls trying to get other kids to cut for them and dates older people and dates
Jack
younger
reminds
people
me of him
of
from
them.
Powerpuff Girls too.
Like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't feel sympathetic. Okay? I don't. You have to be a complete fucking idiot to continue using that as an excuse for them. Kind of repeating myself, but Jack hasn't taken accountability for anything. Okay. Not letting it rest, and he hasn't given a past a good send-off. It's like sailing on a broken boat. The boat being the past, and how you fix it is how you sail. If that makes sense, I don't know. I just made that up on the fly. Continuing on, I believe that Jack has broken the law and is just a bad of influence in general. He needs to stay off and stay away for good. No matter how much he improves, coming back will just hurt his progress. And for the other kids we're protecting, sorry, I'm kind of lost on this trail of thinking here. Apologies. That's because that person is doing apologia for Birdie by not expressly saying apologia for Birdie. If any kids do the same thing Jack has done, they're in the wrong. Just because a kid is 16 doesn't mean they can't really know better. Kids are naive, not stupid. Experience versus intelligence, you know? Especially since Jack has known better. He just doesn't want to be better. Instead, he'll lie and say, I didn't know any better to get out of his consequences. If someone really didn't know better, just apologize and try not to make the same mistakes. That is true. I agree with that. I agree with that. Things ahead. Please correct me if I'm wrong with any of my takes. Yeah, your takes, this Twitter account that we just referenced is fucking retarded. I hope the worst of you. And tell me if I sounded too protective of him. You did. I don't want to try and protect him, but I want to stay objective and treat everyone with the same amount of respect. I don't know how you could treat somebody that has done the things that Birdie's done with any form of respect in the slightest. I don't even know how you could have respect for an individual like this. Good luck. Sorry for any mistakes since English is not first language. No worries. As long as one is self-willing to learn and improve, it's okay to think of the situation. I don't care about any of this. What is this? What was Jack's reaction to you giving away Squirp to you? Before I go on, Cindy has decided to revert back to using Squirp. So when I say Squirp, it's latte. Okay. Jack's reaction, it was either quiet or just accepting. He said that he cared about her, said that he couldn't live without her, but he just didn't put up any complaints or fights, which is a good thing, I think, / hope. Although, it just makes me more upset when I think of his previous behavior and how he acted out when he thought he was going to lose Squirp. He told me he lived for Squirp and something else. That he would attempt if he lost them both. You stole the cat. And you're going to commit suicide over stealing the cat if the cat gets returned back to its owner? Yeah, okay, dude. Okay, buddy. Okay, bro. Okay, dude. Just cut yourself then. Let's see here. Although he's accepting it, so fast might have been helped by the fact that he thought Squirp hated him. I don't know, just guessing. The cat probably did, because even though she didn't, and it was him just overthinking it. Going more deeper into previous behaviors with some added context, he tried to attempt because he thought that Cindy would get Squirp and that he wouldn't have Squirp anymore. This is where the post comes into play. She took Squirp. She took my baby. She doesn't even like her. She only took her away because she hates me. I visited Stupid yesterday. She's not taking care of her. Just totally lying, but okay. Yeah, Queen did want... don't forget, Queen tried to steal both cats and put them in a shelter. Don't forget that part. This post was made because I was about to give Squirp up to Cindy due to the papers, and I decided to tell Jack. Kind of a big mistake, because I then had to basically talk him out of attempting. You should have just let him do it. During this, he was trying to make a Twitter post before this, one where he had his pills in his hand. Oh, God, suicide baiting. Like, anyone gives a shit with Birdie at this point. And was about to caption it with something like me or Cindy, something like that. I had to physically stop him and manually force an exit from Twitter by tapping on his touchscreen computer. He grumbled, went to Discord to talk to others. I sat there on the bed nervous, and we talked about death and stuff. God, okay, who cares? This is my first time ever having to talk to someone out of killing themselves. I was crying. Yeah, it's a very traumatizing moment. It's almost like this person is trying to weaponize their suicide story to make you feel bad for them. I told him that's a lot of people wanted him to live. Nope. Total lie. And that I believe him. That I know he could do many things. He can't do any of these things. And that he should live. He told me that with somebody with his many disabilities, he doesn't have any disabilities. It's all fucking in his head. It's not real. He's not diagnosed with anything. He's not diagnosed with a single fucking disability. Okay? He has autism. And he's able to function perfectly fine with autism. Shut up. That he doesn't see himself living and instead should just end it all. Omega lol. Now, disclaimer. Just because you have disabilities that may hinder you in anything doesn't mean you deserve to die. You can make it in the world and live in your own ways. I don't care about the prostrating. I don't care. I don't care about you explaining that people with disabilities can have a life. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I'm skipping. Was Cindy lying when she said she didn't have the cat? Cindy never had Squirp, so she was correct on that. What she wasn't correct is kind of framing me as a bitch. You are a bitch, Queen. Or something. I don't know, because I understand my actions. But I know that to Cindy, I seem like a bitch, so never mind. Luckily, she did take the video down, but speaking of the video, I want to elaborate on one thing. In the scene where Cindy comes to my house unannounced, I was scared. I had Squirp in the house, and luckily, she was just downstairs and never came upstairs during the whole confrontation. The reason I said that Squirp was mine was because of two things. Because Jack had given me custody of Latte, but I never let Cindy know of that. And the other, well, they didn't have actual custody to give you in the first place, but okay. I didn't think, wait, what? And the other was because I didn't think when I said that and I was panicking. I did leave out a lot of things that happened with Squirp on purpose because we didn't know what Cindy would do with that info. The fact that she showed up to my house and demanded Squirt back proved to me she could do anything if she put her mind to it. What? She asked to get her cat back. I don't know what you mean by she's willing to do anything. You guys stole her cat. And then held it over her head as like a bargaining chip and a blackmailing piece. You guys are bitches. Like, what? Let's see here. Cindy did a lot of shit during this whole stuff, but luckily it's died down now, and Cindy has realized what she did. Damage has been done, unfortunately. Cindy groomed Eno. Cindy doubled down on her actions. Cindy thought that she was in the clear. Aura felt like the need to quit a job because of his co-workers with Cindy. Cindy called Aura a drug dealer. I had to deal with her dragging our names through the mud and many more. There's a lot that happened with Cindy in just those 2 months. Never forget, Birdie wanted to mutilate cats because she hated how people considered them cute. I do remember them saying they wanted to do that. September and October. Woo. And I know I didn't touch on all of it, nor does that even touch on what happened with Jack from November to March. But I go on. I do want to say this is an update. I gave Squirt back to Cindy. Okay, finally. It was about time, and I held on to her for too long. Even past the point where City was very ready to
Chris
ready to own 2 cats.
PLS.
No. What did you post in there? That's so accurate. That's so accurate. Hassan wouldn't bang Anissa though. She has like an STD or something just from those tattoos alone. Let me see here. Where were we? 2 cats. On April 28th, I gave Squirt back to Cindy and I apologized to her for my actions. Okay, that's good of you. I kept her cat for longer than was necessary. What started from me just holding on to Squirt for Jack, to Jack giving me his side of the ownership of Squirt to better care for her, and then to me keeping Squirt and getting ownership in a complicated sense. Around November, Cindy did give me permission to keep Squirt, and I do have a recording of it, which unfortunately helped boost my stupid ego. I'm just glad the wake-up call finally slapped me and I was able to do the right thing and give Cindy back her cat. I explain more at the end of the doc at the updates section. Okay. What was that thing?
I held her cat hostage cause I was afraid she'd harm me. Then maybe give her back her damn cat.
Yeah, maybe give back the cat. Maybe. Just maybe. Just maybe give back the cat. Let's see here. What was the thing about the shelter sending Cindy's message about Latte to being held there? Oh, yeah, the messages. I have a reason for this. I took Squirt to the vet for her first time. Yes, it was her first time at the vet. Neither Cindy nor Jack took Squirt to the vet, even as a checkup, since they got her in December of 2023. Anyway, my vet did a little microchip scan because I told them that Latte had a microchip, to which they contacted Cindy. Although, IDKY, it continued to text Cindy after she visited them, probably automated or something. Did Jack ever tell you his reasoning for essentially abandoning Baby? Yeah, the reason why Jack abandoned Stupid, her new name is Baby now, was because I'm not taking 2 cats. I already have 3 cats in my house. If I took 2 more cats, that would be 5. And then I would have had a 6th at one point because I was watching Jane Doe's cat when she left her mom's house. I told Jack that he could only take 1 cat, and he chose Squirp over Baby because Latte was much more attached to him, and he thought that Baby would be okay by herself. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Although, if I went back to my past self, I probably wouldn't have taken Squirp, or even would. I still would. Either way, if I did go back, I would have gotten 100%, have given Squirp up much sooner. This is so aggravating. I think it's kind of normal to take your favorite cat in the divorce. No. If you have more than one, trying to argue one of them should have only one or both cats feel like it's a personal choice that differs depending on the situation. The cats won't care or know. Especially since Cindy did get Squirp as a gift for Jack, although normal. Finding out that Jack was so terrible did make this a different case and handing Squirp afterwards. Before I go on, though, I do have a rant that left over from my previous updates from the start. When Cindy and Jack first adopted Squirp, they called me to get my old cat supplies instead of getting anything. Oh, God, they're just lazy. My God. Oh, God. Cindy and Birdie really were made for each other. They really were just made for each other, thick and thin, dude. No food, no kitty litter, no kitty toys, nothing. They only bought a little hamster bag because Squirp was just a kitten. This was during a time when I didn't have cats. Long story. So I told Cindy that if they had a cat and I didn't, they can get my cat stuff. But the fact they didn't even buy food.
Okay, seriously. What the hell is this doc?
This document is basically all of Queen's perspectives from behind the scenes of the Cindy Bear Jack drama and them personally dealing with Jack or Birdie. That's what this document is. So I told Cindy that they didn't have. They had a cat, but I didn't know bad food. Jack was the one who had cats. He should have said something. Then again, Jack has always been irresponsible, so why am I even surprised? Yeah, they tried to rape their ferret. Anyways, I had to drive Jack to a pet store, and we had him pay for kitten food because it was the only thing I didn't have. And Cindy was at work. Anyways, rant over because I could always talk about it another day. Here's proof that I did give them the old cat stuff. I don't really care about that. Why did he only take Squirp if he was worried that Cindy was going to neglect the cats and then leave one of the cats with her? I don't know, because I thought that Cindy would be okay with one cat, and she was fine, so my belief was correct in the beginning. Plus, I gave Jack a one-cat limit. That's my reasoning for it. But also, Jack was kind of insistent on taking a cat that I was, and I was cool with that. So I didn't mind taking one of them. Luckily, as of current, Cindy is doing fine with Baby and Squirt now, too. I know that if I knew about Jack, as I know him now, because I didn't know the horrible stuff he did back then, I would not have let him keep Squirt. Is Cindy still your coworker? Yes, I have 2 jobs, so for one of them, she is. That's awkward as shit. That is awkward as fuck, dude. When at home / apartment, did he ever do anything to help the place? No, he never tried to help as much. Okay, what is this? At the start of the recording, I had to crop out Julie Smith's name for privacy. So when we start saying she at the start, before we mention Cindy, we're referring to Julie Smith. What is this? Before with the testimonies from others. An example being, I confronted him on the fact he didn't do dishes, and Jack responded saying he didn't know how.
Speaking of your hypocrisy, you say that Cindy's not clean. You're not clean as well. You has to clean up a lot of your stuff.
She didn't tell me that.
Your plates, you leave your plates in there, and she has to clean that. Even then, speaking of the plates,
She could have said that to me.
You could have said that I have to clean the plates. You could have told me that I could have, you could have told me that I should have cleaned the plates. Holy shit, I would murder Birdie if they were my roommate.
What? I wouldn't have known. I can't read people's minds.
A plate is dirty. You made the plate dirty. You cleaned the plate. That's not reading minds. That's just basic human etiquette. You fucking retarded neat.
I'm not mad at her. It's just like I didn't know, so.
I didn't know I had to clean.
Common decency. I know you weren't raised right.
Common decency?
Not even.
Yes. Why is that a question? Why did Birdie make that a question? What do you mean by common decency? What are you talking about?
I think you misunderstood. I didn't know I needed to clean dirty things.
Yeah, this is so aggravating. This is so aggravating.
Common decency. It's household rules, stuff like that. You tell Cindy to do the dishes and everything like that. She says she does, she will, and the stuff like that. So you know that the dishes should be done.
I don't know how they're supposed to be done.
You're in your 20s. You're in your 20s and you don't know how to clean a dish? So you get hot water, you get a sponge, and you clean it. You clean it, you rinse off the soap, and then you put it in the drying rack after you wipe it down a little bit. Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding?
Oh, now suddenly we're saying, I don't know how they're supposed to be done. You can ask people. Nope, sit down, Jack. Jack, sit down. Come back here.
You're just here to yell at me.
I'm not.
You're just here to yell at me. I'm a disgusting, retarded neat that cuts themselves. I don't know how to clean dishes. Why are you pointing this out to me? Oh my god. Thank you for the 4 months. Accurate. Now sit down. True.
Yelling at you. I'm literally criticizing you.
Yeah, great question. Didn't Birdie need a wheelchair? Why are they standing?
This is your excuses. You're using your excuses again. You said you want to change. You said you want me to be honest. I am being honest. If you want to say that you changed, go sit down.
I just don't want you to talk back, just go through the list.
I don't want you to talk back. I don't want you to confront me. I don't want you to confront me. Don't you dare try to fight back against what I'm saying.
Nope. Out. He would have been out.
I would have killed
right
them.
there.
I would have killed them. I would be on X-Files, man. I would have killed them right then and there. Like, unironically. If we were on like the top floor of a building, I'd throw them off. Thank you for the 2.
If I ever have a roommate like Birdie, I'll make sure waste management takes them as well.
Oh, we're getting so close to being done. We're getting so close. At the start of this recording, at the crowd. Okay, we already read that. Has he been trying to get Squirt back? No, not that I know of. Do you think Jack's aware of how his actions affected others? Yes, in my opinion, I think he knows. He's smart, but he's also dumb as well. He's not smart. He's a fucking idiot. He's been confronted so many times. If he doesn't know that that's even more concerning. They'll never admit that because they're like a textbook fucking autistic narcissist. Even if he does or doesn't know, he still shouldn't be on the internet. He's smart because he knows how to play the victim, but dumb for playing the victim. After all, purposely lying about stuff like this for a long time comes back to bite you like it has now. Do you think he has been hurting others on purpose? Yes, I agree. That's not even a question. I would just say yes. Probably, although this is speculation on my behalf, he's probably pissed at the world, so he hurts others in turn or something. So that makes Birdie a non-victim. Birdie is not a victim anymore of anything if they are weaponizing their trauma to hurt other people, in my opinion. No, not a victim anymore. You get that victim status revoked. Yes, complete unemployable behavior. Completely unemployed behavior.
Complete unemployable
Yeah,
behavior.
sir, man, this is AIDS. This is AIDS. This is AIDS. Where am I going? Okay, we already read that. Is there going to be a section talking about the things he drew? Probably not, because I don't know too much about his history, but here's my take. His concerning art, his Seth Deadly Sins art, anything that's extremely gory/sexual, all should be put behind an 18+ account. Anything cute and non-extreme risk is okay to put his normal account, like the derpy drawing he drew. This is a affront to the eyes. This is a horrible piece of art that should be considered a war crime in every fucking country imaginable. I don't care. Wait, what is this? Stuff like this needs a bit of tweaking. What do you mean by tweaking? There are literally self-harm scars up and down the My Little Pony avatar. That should not be tweaked. That should be deleted. Like, that is an insane fucking piece of art. Stop. Stop. Stuff like this, these, but in a gray area. How is it a gray area? This shit needs to be destroyed. What is it? This stuff is a no-go for anything, is why he posted on his public account 16+. That's an 18+. When did you start to realize that Jack wasn't a good person? It's a snowball effect. We started around early November, late October, started off small, rolled something bigger. Okay, we already did this. Red flags in his behavior. There were many, but one point was when Jack said that Jane Doe dipped on him without a word when that wasn't the case. Thank fucking God, dude. I was so scared. I was like hyperventilating. I've been worried about Squirp really bad after Jane Doe dipped down in the apartment. We already read all this. They're just rehashing a lot of shit here. This is what Jane Doe's supposed dipping out without saying anything looks like from him. Jane Doe's perspective. Okay. Have you heard anything back from the apartment? I've been thinking about decorating my room so often now it's becoming bothersome. Sorry, I didn't put... Wait, what? So, you're... Birdie, why aren't you looking at apartments for them? They're at work, working 2 jobs to help support you and to get you both into an apartment. The least you could do is call out to these places for updates on their behalf. You're allowed to do that. Why are you trying to make it their fucking problem? And you're just like, well, I keep thinking about how I'm going to decorate my room, and it's a bit of a troublesome thing that you won't tell me the update status of the apartment that we're both going to be fucking living in. Sorry, I didn't put the application because my mom wants me to go to college in blank. So I now have to start saving my money. Also, blank is going to be bring her stuff tomorrow. Also, with my mom, I'm moving back in with her because she told me she won't charge me rent. Fuck, what do I do? Save up all the money I can while living with Julie Smith. She's figuring out what to do in June, and it'll give you time to snag another ground floor. You will have to pay fair rent, but otherwise try to figure out a balance between groceries and wants while maintaining savings. Why didn't you tell me about this before I asked? Oh my God. Because it just happened. That's why I'm telling you this now. I didn't know when it would be a good time to tell you. I'm sorry. It's okay. I understand. Things happen really suddenly, and oftentimes it can be hard to process before getting a chance to bring it up. Yeah, once again, I'm sorry. It's okay. Don't worry. It's not your fault or anything. You'll have your own opportunities now.
Eternal victim
That's some victim shit. That is them trying to get them to feel sorry for them. It pissed me off how he also compared us trying our best to help him versus his family situation, you know, and the people that abused him. Thank you, Nieko, for the 33 months. Gay? No, you. No, you. You're a femboy. No, you. Let's see here. How do you think Jack will respond to all of this publicly? How do you think? Okay. I personally do not know, but my best guess is he'll either, one, apologize fully, not going to happen, admit his mistakes, not going to happen, actually follow up with his apology, not going to happen, apologize to his victims, not going to happen, and actually change and move on, not going to happen. 2, come back to online like nothing happened. Probably that one probably. 3, double down, blame everyone, etc., etc. That one is definitely going to happen. 4, just run away and not come back for a long while. This one won't happen. This one won't happen. I would say 2 or 3 is most likely the outcome. 2 or 3 is most likely the outcome, okay? Yes, Jack is Birdie, okay? Where are we? Just run away. Okay. As much as we wish that he would do number 1, it's an extremely far-fetched thing. Hopefully, he'll do it. But he'll likely mix 2 and 3 and 4. It'll just be 2 and 3. Most likely 4, especially since the last online social media activity his audience saw was on Twitter on November 8th, which was months ago. He'll be back. We'll see if he does when he comes back. Can we get a general timeline of events? Okay, we already know this. We already know this. We already know this. We already know the Squirp thing. Why are you redoing this again? Why are you repeating yourself? Okay, what has he been doing on the hiatus? Ever since he's been kicked out of Julie Smith's apartment, he's gone out of state. I don't know. I don't know what Jack is doing or has been doing. He barely lets me know. Even when I had his stuff here at my mom's house, he was radio silent with me for a bit before he finally started talking to me, which I had updated people over on Twitter. Where the 10K is? From what I've seen and what I know currently, he has been using it for himself, but beforehand, when living with us, yeah, no. It was just rotting in his bank account, not being used. I don't believe that for a second. They were probably using their money to buy stupid shit. And didn't you guys post evidence of them buying stupid shit? So they were wasting their money, which was the reason for the GoFundMe, so they would have enough money to find a place, but they were wasting their regular money in the first. It's so stupid. How did the confrontation go? It was met, in my opinion. I don't think much about what I've said stuck with him, but maybe we'll see. At least I have it recorded, so if Jack does say anything about it, the recording can either prove he's telling the truth or lying. Release the fucking call, you dumb bitch! God. Do you think Jack will try to manipulate the situation around his favor? Yes, he will. I don't even need to read their stupid response. I don't care. All right, looks like it really is into something important. Honestly, not a question, but I recommend talking about Jack's romanticizing SH and Gore in his 18 account in his main, and his terrible advice he gave someone about healing self-harm wounds. In your video, and where he said it was okay to peel them off as long as the wounds don't reopen, which you shouldn't be touching your wounds in the first place unless you got to clean it to avoid infections. I believe you know what I'm talking about. I'll provide a screenshot if not. Okay. I recommend talking about Jack's romanticizing SH and Gore at his 18 account. This is what they are talking about. Jack is seen here in these screenshots basically encouraging and telling people how to SH safely. Okay, let me read this. Hi, I have a question. I've recently recovered from SH, and I've noticed I've been picking at my scars. I was just wondering if you ever done that, and it's normal or is it not? Congrats on your recovery. I don't really pick my healed scars, but I don't think it's a concern as long as the wounds aren't being reopened. This is the dumbest advice imaginable. Jesus Christ, Birdie. Don't worry about things not being things being normal a lot. Being normal is boring and not weird for and you are not weird for not being normal. Yes, you are. You're not normal. You're not fucking normal. This is so awesome. That's what the yellow stuff in the cuts, if you don't mind me asking. Sorry, this is a stupid question. Could I be dumb at times? Not a dumb question at all. That's the fat layer. People who often self-harm call it the beans. What the fuck? I think it's a very silly term, but avoid cutting into the beans if you can. It comes with a lot of risks, and I don't recommend it. Jesus, so teaching kids how to self-harm? Oh, this is just getting worse. This is just getting worse. This is just getting worse. By, like, the minute. It's getting worse. This... Oh my god. Ugh. All right. Okay. Don't SH. Can never, in my opinion, truly be done safely, even if you're safe from death. For what reason are you self-harming isn't worth it still? I don't care. Going on, I don't have access to his 18+ account. Plus, I don't feel like I have all the info to even be able to talk about this situation. Also, here's my 2 cents. Jack shouldn't be doing this, even in his 18+ account. Yes, I can agree with that. I know that's things that can be leaked out of 18+ accounts all the time, but SH is very dangerous behavior and usually is committed in a bad mindset. Please, if anyone is doing SH, seek help. Okay, whatever. Yeah, don't listen to Jack's advice. I can agree with that. I don't know if this got updated, but Al did make some extensive Twitter threads about how Jack romanticized and fetishized self-harm. These screenshots may be dubious / not enough proof in my opinion, since he is talking about recovery and discouraging going too deep. You're a retard. The person in purple, you're a retard. You don't know a damn thing. You don't know anything about the DICE server. You don't know about them talking to people in DICE, telling them how to cut themselves. You're a fucking idiot. We currently don't have enough screenshots or access to information where you're actively telling people to harm themselves outside of AI. You're a dipshit. You're a fucking retard. Were you aware of him avoiding the blame and shifting it onto others and stuff? Like in his I'm Back video since the start. No, I legit had no clue about the Birdie drama at all. There were only resources and I had from Jack City and one video of Streamline Workshop I vaguely remember watching a long time ago. Okay, I don't care. You didn't watch the video. You said that enough. Jack talked about how he changed since making the video 8 months prior in person. He definitely kept a lot of his opinions to himself, especially about his victims. So I didn't feel the need to watch it. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I took what they said at face value and didn't know enough about him to worry that he may be lying. Please just fucking bash your head in with a fucking bat. Because you're an idiot. Does Jack know about Cine being able to visit Squirp? If so, how did he react to it? City was only able to visit once so far, as I was unfortunately too busy with life, school, and work before I finally gave back Latte. Even then, no, Jack has no idea, nor does he know about me giving back Latte. This probably will be the first he'll find out. Oh, that'll be interesting. Even if he hears about it or that he heard about the post. After knowing Jack, do you believe that he is a perpetual victim complex? Yes, because of what I've seen, heard, and experienced, he barely blames himself. The only times he's done blame himself is is if he doesn't make it too much of a bad guy. Wait, what? If it doesn't make him too much of a bad guy, i.e. blaming his disabilities like BPD, autism, etc., doesn't have BPD. Heck, he even looks up new disabilities and claims he has them without going on an actual professional. Yeah, he's a retard. I'll read these because these are funny. Also, thank you for the 600 people watching. I know that's why I started a response, but I need to wait until I've stabilized. There's been a lot of plaguing my mind. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. The only person I told about this disorder until now was Blake and Al. Yeah, you're good. As long as you do it sooner rather than later, I'll try. That would be my best recommendation. Try and settle yourself first, like a night at least, or even a day. I would recommend not waiting because I'm not going to talk for you on the internet. Are you going to think differently of me if I tell you what I think I have? I think it would be contextualized why I'm deciding to change and start over on a lot of things. No, because it's an excuse. But you could say it anyways. Oh, that's got a base. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I mean, I want to explain my thought process to you so my behavior makes sense because I know how sudden this is. It's sudden for me too. But definitely think of getting a hotel first, then an Uber. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I mean, I want to explain that's an excuse. My thought process to you, so my behavior makes sense. This is somebody making an excuse. This is somebody making an excuse. But definitely think of getting a hotel for. Okay, I already read that. I'm not hiding behind the label. Like I've said, I've barely even told anybody about it. Don't worry, you can still say it. I have a combination of borderline personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. You look that up online. Did a therapist fucking diagnose you with those things? Because I know the answer. It's no. So we're having a Bo Blacks moment here. BPD. 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 Let's see here. I started wondering if it was normal that my word centers around myself so badly that I get so angry about things when I know I'm in the wrong. And then I started doing research. Yeah, you're not a therapist. And then I realized my behavior wasn't normal or healthy. There's a lot of stigma about this disorder, so I want you to know that doesn't mean I don't lack empathy or never cared about or never think of others, even though I have been selfish lately and taking people for granted. I'll go back to packing. This is pathetic. This is so pathetic. They just learned empathy, bro. This is just an example. And while these disabilities do make sense with who he is, it would be best not to use disability as reasoning or as an excuse in this situation, in my opinion, especially ones without a diagnosis. Just apologize. Be frank. Yeah, no shit. Thank you for stating the obvious. What was the final straw for him to basically get kicked out of the state? For the fact that Jack could possibly have CP. Okay, we already brought that up. But I'll read the rest because it looks like there's a little bit more. And Julie wanted him out of her place because of that possibility. I confronted him on that. He denied it. Why don't we have a call of that? Why are you not providing the call of that? But Julie wanted him out, which was fair and reasonable. Oh, and we didn't kick him out of the state. We kicked him out of Julie Smith's house. That was on Jack for leaving the state. Although Jack might try to say we kicked/forced him out of the state, when that literally isn't true. I told him to get an Uber and a hotel, but no, he had to get a plane ticket ASAP. Okay, that's just a copy and paste. Do you think Birdie regrets harassing Cindy and leaving her despite being literally the same, if not worse than Cindy? I don't know. That's more of a Jack question. Why are you responding to it then? When/if Jack makes his response, what do you think it'll consist of? Probably the draggy grooming situation and then some recent stuff, like why he went on a hiatus topics, because otherwise I can't really guess. I can't wait for Birdie to make a response and put in clips of me saying, just cut yourself. Like, just end it all. And then they're going to be like, these people are unhinged and treat me like shit, a mentally ill person. Hey, Birdie, let me give you a clip for your YouTube video. I don't care. You deserve zero sympathy. Zero anything. You deserve nothing in life because you do nothing to improve your life. You are better off being homeless on the street, begging for fucking change because nobody should ever want to be in the same room as you. Put that in your video, Birdie. Let's see here. A lot of my IRLs were evil. That was including me. Everyone else was so manipulative and wanted me to be homeless. I just find anyone else to blame, probably a new list of mental illnesses, so he could say it was not the narcissism, not me kind of thing. I kind of agree with the retard in purple. I really doubt he will ever make a real response and take any real responsibility. Was there any hint of what his script consisted of / what he was going to say? During the second confrontation, he mentioned that he started making a script about the draggy situation. Oh, so there was an idea of a return video script. Please, Birdie, make a return video. Let me hit 1K concurrent, baby. But I'm guessing it's on hold for now. Although that knowledge is why somewhat guess a topic that would be his comeback video, even if he ever makes one. How did Jack respond to confrontation about his interactions with me at first? Okay, so that's a little guy. Luckily, I already put the recording of what Jack told me in question 19, so no need to repeat. What? Where are we at? Question 58? I'm sorry. I feel like I missed something here. Yeah, the document's terrible.
Yeah. Bad. No. Many times
Let me
that I
stop
can't.
you right there at that one.
Yeah, I forgot that they just did the same fucking audio for this. Release the call, Queen. Release the call, you fucking idiot. Whoever's in contact with Queen, can you do me a favor? Tell them to censor the personal information or the overly sensitive information and just drop the call. Drop the call. Because honestly, this document is so fucking shitty. I just want to listen to you confront Birdie at this point. David, you're actually fucking... Wait, hold on. This is a troll comment. This person isn't real. I've never supported Ethan doxing people, first off. I'm being one guide here, but I'm going to say this. I've criticized Ethan vehemently for doxing people multiple times. You can look it on my channel. The reason that I defend Ethan is because all he said was both sides shouldn't die. And then Hassan's community decided to go schizo, say he's pro-genocide, that his wife's murdered babies, and skulls were mailed to his house, and CPS was called at his home. So yeah, I'd rather support Ethan than the schizophrenic community that's going on over there, David. Why did you delete that, Zoltan? Why did you delete that? Don't delete that. David's just trying to get a clip. Do it, David. I love it. I have never once said it's a good thing that Ethan Klein doxes people. I might cover the Cameron stuff, maybe. I'm like 50-50 on it, because honestly, I'm not really that invested. I am dying. This document sucks. This document sucks ass. Let's see here. Where are we? Who's David? Some dude in chat that one guyed me. He won. He totally won. He totally won. He one guyed me. Good job, bro. Let's see here. But yeah, let me get back to my rant. Queen, release the call. This document is fucking dog shit. It is the worst document that I have ever read in my entire life. Release the call. Release it in its entirety. Cut out what you have to cut out, that's sensitive information, because realistically, I don't fucking care about this document anymore. But I'm going to read the rest of it because you went through the effort. God. But release the call. I would rather listen to that. Ace, it's called stretching content out. You need to learn how to do that, buddy. Where are we? Okay, we already did that. Okay. Do you think Jack deserves to come back even if he was to improve tremendously? The answer I would give is absolutely not. If Jack were to improve tremendously, then he would know the best thing would be for this to stay off the internet. Okay, kind of based. Will Jack lash out like he's done in the past? I hope not. He definitely will. What did Jack spend the 10K on? Let me read some of this. How is this document bad? It's poorly put together. It's constantly repeating itself. It doesn't give enough information in regards to the audio recording, so we're just taking their word on it. Overall, The people that were involved in the Birdie drama, I hate all of them. They're all incapable, incompetent retards. Queen, this guy that's in this in purple, all of these people are idiots. It took them a whole year to put this together, and it's terrible. Release the call. Release the call. I would rather listen to the call. Let's see here. So let's read some of this. We'll see what I can ship out and what I can't. Because after you pay Julie, you got to pay me next. After I figure out the estimates. Do you also have a package I sent to your place? There should be one more derpy plushie. And I don't think you ever got back to me about it. By the way, just for clarification, the MLP merch was from commission money that I earned aside from rent. So you don't have any money, but you're buying plushies, and you keep saying you're starving. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Really prioritize the retarded fucking plushies, dude. Meds and other actual needs and expenses too, Julie, aside from food, which I rarely bought for myself. And left the 10K untouched until I had to go to Seattle. You making that assumption, then immediately posting to Twitter about it is insanely dangerous. In the future, I would ask you resolve personal issues privately before posting to social media. You can't say that, Birdie. You do that all the time. This is what Jack said for this. It's on the screen right now. Here's my response to that. I thought I gave all your derpy plushies. Continuing on, though, thanks for clarifying so late into this sarcasm. Even then, you still haven't used the 10K as you said you would. It doesn't matter if you want to save the money. That money isn't for saving. It's meant to help you, like going to a doctor to get your PTOS checked out, or figure out if it's worse or not, or going to a therapist, or something other than rotting in your account. You're basically just lying to everyone about what the money is for. Kind of true, but actually true. Did you send the money? Also, I'm still typing out something for that response. I'm just busy. I'm dealing with an emergency right now, so I'll get back to you ASAP. But I will tell you this right now. I have not been clarifying things like this with you because of this kind of aggression. You jump on me for every single thing I say because it seems like you think it's impossible for you to be wrong about me. Yeah, Birdie, everything about you is just like complete garbage. Yeah, I need the shave. I need to do a haircut and shave, Spondal. You are correct. I have been annoyed by it myself. I've just been working. I've been working too hard, man. I go to bed after some of these fucking streams almost immediately. Let's see. In case it's not clear, Jack did not spend all 10K on MLP. Too many people think he did. It's just misinformation and misinterpretation. You're an idiot. Jack already spent that money. You don't live in Missouri. She got 10K, bro. Average rent is like $650 for a person. A pack of cigs is around 5. And gas is under 3 gallons. Where's the money at? Rotting in their bank account. The GoFundMe was to help them find a new place to live. The money is being misappropriated. They are committing fraud. Let's see here. Did Jack actually try to get a place to live or find a stable job with a reliable source of income? As of when he was living with Julie Smith and Aura, not really. He told Julie he was trying to find an apartment, but that was pretty obvious. He was just pushing it back and not really pursuing it. Although he did try to find one, so there's some credit there. He gave up, retard. So, like, there's no credit to be given. Most of the burden was placed on Jane Doe to find an apartment. He didn't even attend tours. The first one, Jane Doe had to pretty much apply by herself and put her income statements on it. Jack couldn't contribute yet. He didn't have the GoFundMe money yet, if I remember correctly. And she didn't make enough. The second, he just outright refused to apply for because there were no ground floor options. Why do you need a ground floor? Your legs work. Mind you, it's about the same number of steps to the second floor as it is to my house. Give her a few steps. He went up and down just fine about every day at my house and then made a giant issue for it at an apartment. A single floor apartment that doesn't have stairs inside. He probably wouldn't even be leaving every single day. I just don't remember him trying to look, but he rejected apartments he didn't even look at. Yeah, I know she likes to roll. I know Birdie likes to role play as a wheelchair-bound person, but they are not. They can walk just fine. For the job, though, no. He never tried to find a stable job. Obviously. But he did have internet keyword did. He's really irresponsible with his job, aka the internet and commissions. And now that job is gone for obvious reasons. Anybody that buys any art from Birdie, you are getting scammed. Just putting it out there. I don't think he's gone to find another job, although Jack doesn't keep me updated with his life, so I don't know what's going on. Birdie is never getting a job. Stop trying to be fair here. Birdie is never getting a job. Birdie isn't tragic. Birdie's a piece of shit neat. Is it just me or does anyone feel like I did a response? Okay. Not a question, but it was under my tweet, so I might as well give my comment, especially with the music that Jack has listened to. Jack has a mixtape. He always asks to play whatever I'm driving in places. There's definitely some good songs in there. I don't care. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? What is this? I'd like to teach the world to fap in perfect harmony. That's their playlist. Okay. Those are some interesting songs on there too. I don't think much of this one song until I read what Zone was. Then I realized that's one song that Jack listened to. Wait, that's Zone Tunes? Wait a minute. They listened to the Zone Tunes song? They listen to Zone Tunes music? I know this channel. Did this channel have crazy allegations against it? Hold on. This channel. Everyone's seen this channel at least once. It's literally just fetish artwork the entire time. I know that channel. Yeah, it's like a Gooner channel. I remember allegations against that channel for some reason. They listen to the Goon song. Might be before your time, chat. Might be before your time. I don't know if this means any. Actually, I could just. I don't want to listen to the song. I don't want to. I need to remind. I can't find it. Shadman was an associate? Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's Shadman territory. Ew. Shadman territory. Let's see here. Where am I? I don't know if it means anything, but I guess this would show that Jack shows that Zone does lewd things at least, or something. I don't know. Tell me if it means anything or if I'm overthinking this. I don't think it's all that important to the conversation or issue. Liking a character, or a person, or a song you later find out is problematic is too common. It's all right. Who cares?
Squad FT Chris and Leon.
Do you have any help for Jack in the far future, above 10 years? I do honestly believe Jack can change after 10 years. Nope, Jack's gonna die alone. Jack's gonna die alone. Jack's gonna die alone, and nobody's gonna cry for them. I don't want to read that stupid response. Do you think Jack will ever change? Okay, no one care. Updates. Oh, God, there's so much more. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done, and I can end stream. Oh, thank God. We're almost done. 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 We're almost there, chat. Make sure to like the stream through all of my suffering, okay? 564 people here, 191 likes. Let's get that to 200. I posted updates on Twitter, so to be reading up on my updates. I already know this, but here. Jack still has his stuff here. I've tried to contact him for about a week, but no response. Then, on February 16th, Jack finally texted me back, asking if I could still help him. To which I said no. Jack is trying... Bro, Birdie's trying to worm their way back. They're like, hey, do you have that bed open for me still? I know I was a piece of shit to you. So they're trying to worm their way back. To which I said no. Which then leads to February 18th. That's when Jack called the cops, who then called me. Wait, they called the cops on Queen?
I remember Zone all too well. They're the reason why Insurance had to get rid of their pink-haired spy mascot.
That's crazy. Oh, don't worry. Queen backtracks and ends up helping Birdie again. This is the flip-flopping I mentioned before. Nice. The cop basically just asked if I could continue to help Jack, as Jack could sue me. I don't think you spoke to the police. I don't think you spoke to the police. I don't believe that you spoke to the police. What can they sue you for? Sue you for what? What can they sue you for? The police would not say that they can sue you.
Whoa! Update, my VPN kept me from sending super chats.
Oh, that's why. This is stupid. The cop made some good points, like how Jack is paying for the shipping and my time. So I might... What? The cop would not do that. The cop would not do that. The cop would not do that. So I might as well. Plus, that would mean Jack's stuff gets out of my house, as well as it would technically be the mature thing to do. Then again, I don't care if Jack's stuff is here, but I also don't really want to be petty, because like the cop said, Jack can sue. Jack can't sue! They've been gone too long. It's considered abandoned property. I agree with Deep Sea Monster under that. Then again, where are we? So that's why I decided to continue to help Jack get his stuff. Around March 19th, Jack got his stuff back. The reason why it took so long was because I was busy with school in my life.
Anything might not win though.
In the end, Jack had to pay someone to pick up his stuff, which I had posted updates about this situation on my Twitter. Luckily, though, it means the end to this stupid situation. Thank goodness. I just wish it was handled better. I do want to say as a final update from what you read so far and what I've stated, I've officially given City back Latte. Okay, we already know this. But I'll still read it. Okay. And she decided to revert using Squirp, whatever. I don't know the spelling she's going by, and contacted Puppy, one of Cindy's closest friends online. On April 26, 2025, around midnight, so basically very early in the morning on the 27th, we talked. And I talked to Sky, another one of Cindy's closest friends, and then Cindy. We ended up a date and time to give her Squirp back, which was April 28th, after she had finished working. I then met up with her, gave her Squirp, chatted for a bit, and then left. I was pretty satisfied with how it went, and definitely guilty for how long it took me to give Squirp back to City. Before I go into the conclusions, I want to say one thing. I'm so sorry for my immaturity. I know I've definitely handled a lot of situations irresponsibly and immaturely. Release the call! I like, with the recording with Jack that got leaked out there. Oh, this is a note directly to good old me. I'm sorry for the way I acted in that recording. I really wasn't meant for a note-taking thing, and we would have it was really meant for a note-taking thing, and we would have spliced it up. So you're telling me that you would cut context from the call? Not really a good apology there. But even then, I shouldn't have been giggling and shouldn't have threatened that. Should treated that recorded seriously. You also shouldn't have threatened to sue people. That was my fault, and I'll try my best to do better. That recording was really meant as a note-taking thing and not professional. The only reason why it's out there now is because of Cindy snooping through Jack's account. We wanted to bleep things out, especially some more personal info like names, which is why my friends who are on the more paranoid side wanted it taken down. Tell them to kill themselves.
Super chat now. YouTube.
Well, thank you for the super chat. And immaturely threatened to sue. We were scared that people would find us, but I've grown to learn we'll be fine and safe anyways. Still, that was all our fault for dropping the gun, especially on the wrong person. I'm sorry, Meta, that you had to deal with an immature people. Hopefully we grow and learn from this whole situation, not just the video, but from Jack's influence too. Yep, Meta mention. I also want to apologize again to everyone for having to deal with me. Thank you so much for all your good criticism you guys have given me. Drop the call. Whoever is in contact with Queen, tell them to drop the call. I want the call. I want it. This document was terrible. This document was horrible. I want the call. Release the call. Release it. Release it tomorrow. Censor out what you have to censor for any sort of personal information and release the goddamn call. That is going to be way better than this stupid fucking document. Hopefully, I'll be able to learn and grow. Conclusion. Going to the conclusion. I'm just glad I finally finished it. I started around mid-December and finished the doc on February. Luckily, it seems like this whole situation between me and Jack is over, and even with Cindy as well. After I post this doc, I won't be responding to drama on Jack or Cindy unless it involves me. Anyways, thank you for... I'm not reading the rest of that. Will you cover it? Yes, I will literally cover the call if Queen drops it. I will literally cover the call, okay? I will unironically do that. All right. Who's live right now? Nobody's live. That's crazy. Nobody's live. All right, I'm done. This is all I wanted to do. I want to spend the last few moments of sunlight that are left outside. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's donated today. Thank you for the 600 people that stopped by today. Come by and watch more often. I cover RCC, our commentary, community drama, random internet drama, more important dramas like the Ethan Hassan stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for your generous donations per usual. Subscribe if you're new. The stream will remain up. It will remain up the entire time. I will not be taking it down. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, okay? Because I want to talk about Xander Hall. We're going to talk about good old Xander Hall. Make sure you guys stick around more often. Thanks for watching.